On June 5th, NewJeans and Ador had their second oral argument in court. NewJeans wasn't present, but their lawyer was clearly angry, as reported in the article, and there was a clash over a very important piece of evidence in court. This video is going to cover everything that was said during the hearing and what could possibly happen next, looking at NewJeans' legal condition at the moment. First, we have a court statement. A question was asked to both sides. Do you have any intention of reaching an agreement? The defendant said no last time, but from the court's perspective, it is regrettable, and the court would like to recommend it. The judge asked both sides, NewJeans and Ador, if they were willing to settle or negotiate. The defendants, which is NewJeans or NJZ, previously said no, and that hasn't changed. The court clearly expressed disappointment that no agreement had been reached and encouraged both parties to consider settling. To this, we saw a statement from NewJeans' legal team. The trust in the relationship has already been broken, so we have crossed the bridge of no return. We will have to consult with our clients again, but it won't be easy. This is absolutely not something new coming from the NewJeans side. The trust has been broken. It's been said many times during this whole saga. If you guys remember, back in November 2024, NewJeans used two major terms in their press conference, mistreatment and manipulation, by Ador. Hee said, or I should say alleged, that she suffered workplace harassment while working with the label. This is not the type of work ethic we respect and not one we want to be a part of. Continuing to work under a company with no intention of protecting NewJeans would only do us harm, Hee said. She continued, saying that the group had faced mistreatment, not just towards us, but also including our staff, and that they had experienced deliberate miscommunications and manipulation in multiple areas. So what exactly were these mistreatments? The first one at the top has to be that Ador's former CEO, NewJeans' mama Hee-jin, got fired. Illit copied NewJeans' concepts. Hee got ignored, and a manager allegedly told her to just ignore them. Videos from NewJeans' fan Ban Hee-su's channel were deleted, and there was that whole controversy with the music video director. Then we got claims that hybe leaked their pre-debut videos, and hybe's internal documents allegedly said something bad about NewJeans. They didn't acknowledge the group's achievements and kept downplaying them. Ban PD didn't respond to NewJeans' greetings. Stuff like that. Previously, the judge also said that broken trust is a very subjective concept in NewJeans' case, and that it's not something they've seen in K-pop before. The defendant is now saying that the relationship between NewJeans and Ador is completely damaged, that there's no going back to working things out like before. This was mentioned during the injunction lawsuit. NewJeans' lawyers said they'll check in with the members, their clients, again, but they don't think a settlement is likely. One particular argument that's getting NewJeans a lot of hate right now is when Ador said they were still doing their job and claimed they continued managing the members' activities even after the CEO was changed, after Hee-jin was removed and a new CEO stepped in. To this, NewJeans' side responded, "Anyone can do that. I didn't sign an exclusive contract to receive that kind of thing." And their lawyer was furious in court. Okay, wait a minute. I thought NewJeans and their parents were being delusional, but turns out their lawyers are even more delusional. NewJeans' legal team is rejecting the idea that simply managing schedules is enough to fulfill an exclusive contract. They're arguing that the deal was about a specific vision or leadership style, most likely referring to Hee-jin, and that this isn't just about logistics, it's about creative direction and trust. But first of all, if NewJeans only wanted to work with Hee-jin and follow only her creative direction, did they mention that before signing the contract? Did they put a clause in there saying, we are only going to work under this specific leadership or vision? Because otherwise this whole I didn't sign an exclusive contract to receive that kind of thing sounds pretty shaky. And then NewJeans' lawyer literally says this in court. Seriously? From a legal standpoint, that's a bold claim, because in most standard idol contracts, yes, the company manages your activities, promotions, brand deals, everything. That's literally part of the deal. So now people are asking, do NewJeans and their lawyer really think they're different from every other idol group out there from the beginning? Like, are they saying they're above the system? It almost sounds delusional and entitled, because under Korean contract law, especially in the entertainment industry, exclusive contracts are all about control and obligation. You give up some freedom in exchange for the company investing in you. That's the trade-off. And now you're standing in court saying, well, anyone could have done that job. Bruh, that's not how contracts work. They're honestly the worst. They probably think, since anyone can do it, why can't we just terminate our contract? Like, when are they going to say they'll pay the penalty fee? How can they even think like that? So the concept now is that anyone can make them succeed? I'm seriously at a loss. Who do they think is feeding them? It's like saying, I'm not going to pay for the food because it's not the food I want to eat. No, but do they not understand what a contract even is? What else are they expecting? Now, I did read more comments, and some people say this statement from NewJeans' side is being taken out of context. Here's the background. Ador submitted evidence and statements to the court, basically trying to prove that they continued to manage NewJeans' activities even after changing the CEO. In response, NewJeans' side argued, the evidence provided by Ador is quite insufficient, and management obligations cannot just be fulfilled by putting together a list of replaceable producers. Anyone can do that. We did not enter into an exclusive contract to receive such management. Now, from a contract law perspective, management companies aren't required to give idols perfect management or the exact producers they want. They're only required to fulfill their duties within reason, things like scheduling, promotions, music production, and so on. If Adore did those things, even minimally, then technically, they upheld their end of the contract. But NewJeans' legal team is making a different kind of argument. They're not just saying the work wasn't done, they're saying the soul of this contract was broken. That the trust, the vision, the creative leadership, especially through Hee-jin, was why they signed in the first place. And when she was pushed out, that broke the entire spirit of the agreement. So now we're in this weird legal gray zone. Is an exclusive contract just about tasks getting done, or is it also about who is doing them? And that's the problem with NewJeans' legal argument. It's not strong enough legally. It sounds emotional and personal. Someone else put it like this: the context improves, but it still contradicts the original accusation that the company was going to put the group on hiatus. Now the argument is that the company wasn't doing enough. Then you've got all the online arguments about how Adore supposedly planned a 1.5-year hiatus for NewJeans, but Adore clapped back, showing schedules and promo plans as proof. They even said they were looking for a Grammy-winning producer for the girls, which obviously would take time. And yeah, people are also saying all Adore did was send them to brand events that were already locked in and award shows where the pre-existing team handled things. But meanwhile, Stadium Fan Meet canceled, album canceled, world tour canceled, Fortnite collab gone. They lost all of this because they only wanted to do it with one person on this entire planet. That's NewJeans' mindset. They didn't want to do it with Adore, the actual company they signed with, the company that paid for them, that invested in them. Yes, Hee-jin had a creative vision and helped shape the group's identity. The group became a massive success under her, no doubt. But she was literally hired to do that. She was doing her job. She was getting paid for it. They barely even spent time with the new management. Like, not even Hee-jin planned stuff for NewJeans in such a short time. But wait, wasn't the original issue supposed to be a hiatus? First it was we're overworked, then it became we're not working enough, and now it's we won't work without Hee-jin. So what was the company even supposed to do? Make deals and sign contracts without the members' consent? Anyway, moving on. There was also an evidence clash between both sides. Adore wants to use court records from Hee-jin's previous lawsuit with source music. And the specific evidence they're trying to bring in? Kakao Talk messages. Yeah, I'm gonna make a whole video on that mess, trust me. NewJeans' side objected, saying that's illegally obtained. So we've got a classic admissibility dispute here. Adore says the computer is company property. We got consent from the file owner. NewJeans says that's a violation of data privacy and improper access. Now it's up to the court to decide whether that digital evidence is legal and relevant. And this could actually set a legal precedent for how digital files and chat logs are handled in future K-pop lawsuits. Adore also made this statement. Whether it's the main lawsuit or the provisional disposition, once the court makes a decision, we think it'll be easier to settle things. So basically, Adore is down to negotiate, but only after the court rules. They think once that happens, everything else will fall into place. Now, this lawsuit we're talking about is Adore suing the members of NewJeans over the validity of their exclusive contract. The third trial is coming up on July 24th, and just to recap, here's what the court already ruled before. NewJeans has to pay Adore 1 billion won, that's about $720,000 USD, for breaching their contract. On top of that, they're on the hook for legal fees. So yeah, we're kinda at the point of no return. And the public? Still not really on NewJeans' side. People are saying stuff like, NewJeans complaining about mistreatment is like a billionaire complaining about capitalism. Why? Because during the court proceedings, it was revealed that Adore paid out a total of 26.1 billion won, around $19 million USD, to the NewJeans members just in 2023. That's about 5.2 billion won, or roughly 3.8 million USD per member, for 1 year. And from October 2023 to now, Adore paid them another 12 billion won, which is $8.2 million USD. Plus, hybe, the parent company, invested a total of 30 billion won, roughly 20 million USD, to debut NewJeans in 2022. Which, by the way, is double the amount they invested in Lesser of Him debut. So obviously Adore came to court with receipts, like actual billions, and NewJeans, they haven't really shown any new evidence. Anyway, the comment section's open. Let me know what you think about all this. Do subscribe to my channel for more updates.